Welcome to Cheviot Chameleons. This is just a brief quick overview of what Cheviot is all about. It's a small rural service township 115 kilometres northeast of Christchurch and 14 kilometres south Pallassus on State Highway 1. Its 2013 population was 375 at the time. And also, as a key reminder, there will be a map showing the locations of what I'm clearly illustrating right now, of the location where it is found, as well as in saying this also that the township began in the late 19th century after the subdivision of the 33,600 hectare Cheviot Hills that run. This was named after the range of hills on the border between Scotland and England, owned by William Ready Money Robinson. It was one of Canterbury's largest 19th century properties in 1892 to 1993, or 1893, correction. The government purchased it and subdivided it into small farms. A landmark even in the breaking up of large estates in the Cheviot Hills domain are the foundations of Robinson's Mansions House, which burned down in 1936. Also in the part of it, you've got Conway River. It's a short river that forms part of the northern boundary of the Canterbury region. It drains hill country south of the Kaikoura Ranges and enters the sea at Conway Flat. Pallassus, as I said, is a settlement 14 kilometres north of Cheviot and 65 kilometres southwest of Kaikoura. It takes its name from a local sheep run owned by a classical scholar, Edward Lee, who saw a likeness between the local hill and the Greek Mount Parnassus, mythical home of the god Apollo and the Muses. Parnassus was the railhead for the main line north from 1912 until rail construction resumed almost 30 years later. It declined from 1980 when a new road north of Waiau Road Bridge diverted traffic from the township. Waiau River is a 169 kilometre river that rises in the Spencer Mountains and flows across three intermontane basins, the Hanima Plain, the Emaru Plain and the Cheviot Basin. Between these basins and the sea, the river flows through gorges on the Emaru Plain, some of which water is tapped for a major irrigation scheme. A road beside one of its tributaries, the Lead River, connects Parnassus with Waiau in the Emaru district. This road was on several occasions used by traffic between Kaikoura and Christchurch when floodwaters threatened the old bridge across the Waiau River. Dormet settlement side 8 kilometres southwest of Cheviot, Lake Cheviot. It developed after the 1893 subdivision of the Cheviot Hills run. It became the railhead of the main trunk line in 1907 and the station is now a tourist stop. It continues to thrive after the railway continued north, but as roads were improved, its local service role did diminish. Algar Bay is a beach resort 8 kilometres southeast of Cheviot until the railway reached Dormet in 1907. Goods for Cheviot came and went by sea, initially using surf boats at Algar Bay. In 1879, William Robinson of Cheviot Hills built a slipway and shared a prop Robinson 4 kilometres to the south where ships could anchor in the lee of a headland to be serviced by a boat worked from the slipway. There is still a slipway at Port Robinson. Last but not least, Hurunui River, 138 kilometre river that rises on Harper's Pass. Its north branches flows through Lake Sumner and its middle reaches it crosses the Emaru district. The historic Hurunui Hotel is on the river's south bank by the State Highway 7 bridge. Close to the river's mouth is a settlement of fishing huts and holiday homes. Also, basically, just to let you know, there's a museum in Cheviot that you'll see a few photos of display of what they do. It's obviously the Cheviot Museum. Experienced rural life in New Zealand in 1850 right down to the discovery of the moa bones that was found. Cheviot Hills was the first big land holding in New Zealand to be divided to provide small farming units for settlers. The museum follows its life in the area with vivid displays detailing the purchase of the eastern, or shall we say the estate, in 1893 and the subsequent settling of the area between the Hurunui and Conway rivers. The foundations of the mansion house in the Cheviot Hills domain are visible and the house is well documented. Again, you'll see a map above me where it's located along with some other imagery along the way as I educate you all when we're travelling down south together for these trips with Aspie vlogs. So stay tuned, Chameleons. I'll be back shortly with some of those as well as inside those, back with the more fun and games hopefully. Just keep an eye out. Enjoy.